Guys, back with another member interview. I think this is going to be a really, really good one. This is Alfie. So, if you want to give us a quick introduction, Alfie, in terms of obviously who you are, what you were doing before joining Capital Closer, what you made the last couple of months in remote sales, and we'll take
Yeah.
it from there.
Yeah, so my name's Alfie. I'm 22 years old. I spent 3.5 years in corporate sales. So foreign exchange, so I do the lead sourcing, prospecting, cold calling, onboarding, trade the accounts and manage accounts. And then I transitioned into high ticket sales about 3 months ago. So last month I made 9.5K, the month before 10K. And then when I was in my corporate job doing it on the side, I made 5K.
Well, okay. So, what you've done 10, well, you've done 25K in the space of 90 days.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane.
So going back to I remember our first call really, really well, actually. I think you had a similar, you even touched on it there, 3 years in corporate sales, same as me. And I remember you saying your commute was bloody intense. Do you want to sort of dive into, I suppose, more what you were doing before? I think you were in one company and then you moved to the other. Just run through
Yeah,
that, I
correct.
suppose.
So yeah, I finished my A levels. I knew I didn't want to go to university because it just wasn't
Shock.
for me.
Shock.
So I was looking for local apprenticeships. I found one in Stevenage, not the nicest place,
Stephen.
but it was yeah, it was rough, but it was about a 40-minute commute from where I live now. So
Okay.
I spent about 2.5 years in that company, and then I reached my limit in that company, so I moved into
What
London.
was it? What sales role was that?
So it was like just like business development.
BD, yeah, cold calling, like reaching leads, all
Yeah,
that sort of
yeah,
stuff. Cool.
yeah. And then I reached my limit in Stevenage, so I transitioned into London. Again, when you are starting in London, it's like you think it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's not until you start working in London, and again the commute, I'd wake up at 5, get into the office for 7:30, finish at 5:30, get home at 7. And it was like just a vicious cycle Monday to Friday. Couldn't go to the gym, wasn't even really sleeping properly. And then that's when I saw your ads and then transitioned into remote high ticket selling.
So, I mean, when you first saw remote sales, what was your initial thoughts? Being a sales guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, so I was quite lucky because my friend was a closer. And he was telling me he was making like 10, 15K per month. So I did believe it. And it was just like, I just need to be in the right vehicle to make money, have freedom. So yeah, it's like the perfect fit for me.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, I even put a post up literally yesterday from Steve Bartlett saying it, and it was, your existing skill set, rather than trying to think about, create this business idea and do this, do that, use the skill you have and just think, how can I put this skill I have in a better market that will just pay me more? You know? And
Mm,
that is the reality for anyone who's working a 9 to 5 sales role. Like you're making 3, 5, 6K a month. If you put it into a better industry where you're doing the same thing but get more output, why wouldn't you do that?
yeah,
Before starting a
exactly.
business or before doing that. So going back to your FX role in London, being sort of
Yeah,
22, similar to myself, similar to all the guys inside, you're in London, you got your suit on, you sort of all of that stuff. I'm sure parents or family or friends were like, oh, big dog,
yeah.
wow. Why, why were you like just not? Because there's people in there who are 35, they're making 6, 7, 8K. Like, why were you against like doubling down and going? Do you know what? Like this is good. This is good.
Yeah, I think more so for me because I live in the middle of nowhere in the countryside. It was a commute there.
Yeah.
Again, it was so draining. I would on the train into London from Stortford to Liverpool Street, I'd be asleep because I was just so tired. And it was like, yeah, I could have continued doing that or maybe moved into London, but I like where I live now. And it's like just the commute, long work hours, cap commissions, everything like office politics.
What was the main? I mean, I remember there were a stack of reasons really for me, and I think there are always for a lot of guys. Was there a specific moment or a specific sort of trigger that you were like, right, yeah, enough's enough. Like we gotta. I've been thinking this shit for too long. I need to actually do something about it.
Yes, I think I went out on a Thursday night, as you normally do in London.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back into work on the Friday, so I barely got any sleep. Then I had to get the
No.
train up to London, and it was like, oh, this just can't be my reality for the next 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And especially I looked at the people older than me. It's like, yeah, they might have been making 5, 10K a month after tax, but it's like they were unhappy. And then it was just all the same conversation. So Friday would come around. It's like, oh, what you doing on the weekend? Then it's
Yeah,
Monday, and everyone's like, oh, I just like, I want this week to be over. It was
yeah,
just so, it was like a hamster just like running
yeah.
around that wheel. And yeah,
It is. It is. I think it's almost you have that realization where you're doing it and you're like, this is great, this is cool, this is amazing, blah blah. And then you do sort of sit back for a moment and you go, this is actually bullshit. Like, what is going on? Are these people like day after day? It's like, oh, the boss is a twat. Like, my commission's getting moved around. My pay, oh, it's his fault. It's his fault. Or oh, it's his fault.
mm,
It's like, no, it's your fault. Everything's your fault. Like, and yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? It's the same conversations, And I always think,
yeah,
there will be a day. There will be a day that where I do go back, and
yeah,
I have to drop in and it'll be the same people saying the same conversations with the same bullshit. So making the pivot then into remote sales, that's quite an interesting one. So you knew someone who was already in it. I do
correct.
think
Yeah,
that I do think that adds to it because I think there's almost like two layers to it. Even though I knew no
yeah,
one, a lot of people inside Capital Closing knew no one, but there's two layers. They're seeing it online and believing it's real. You're like, okay, there's someone out there that's doing it, proof of concept. Two,
hmm
there's someone I now know. And I think when you have that, it's like, right, you're now actually losing money not doing this sort of thing.
yeah.
How long did you know about him doing it?
So he started in, I think it was about a month, and then I joined Capsule
Oh,
Closer. He wasn't
oh,
doing it. He's only been doing it for, yeah, about 9, 10 months, I believe.
oh. Okay, okay. So he wasn't doing too. So how come you went down the route of, I don't know whether he got a mentor or not, or he worked with anyone. How come you went down the, because I know he wasn't in Capital Closer. How come you went down the route of coming on board with us as opposed to maybe working with him or working who he worked with or whatever?
Yeah, well, I feel like there's always two options, right? It's like option one, you can do it on your own. The internet is free. But the other option is a bit like basketball, right? You could learn from LeBron James, someone who's proven, been there, done that, and it just fast tracks your success. So that was the reason why I joined Capital Closer because again, you were always posting the results and stuff like that. So it was like, okay, this is real. My mate does it as well, so it's like I might as well just give it a shot.
What was the main thing that, from an outsider's perspective, looking in, you felt that you needed the most help with? And to that answer, was it the same thing once you were in the industry? You were like, oh, I actually need help with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the difference between corporate sales and high ticket sales is very different. Again, it's sales as a whole, but corporate sales is just like chit chat, you're trying to build reports, stuff like that. Whereas remote sales is more emotional based. So I knew I had to get some kind of training from somewhere or learn from someone who is proven. So it just speeds up my results.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean the sales processes are very different. I like to say it's literally like almost playing in like League Two football to Premier League. Like it is a lot more intense. There's not a lot of room for fucking a call up. You can screw it
Mm,
up a little bit in corporate sales. It's 1, 3, 6 month, 12-month sales cycle, or maybe you said it to not the decision maker, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
Here, it's 45 minutes. Say one weird little thing that trigger, they're like, yeah, I'm not buying, or I'll think about it. You know
yeah.
and that can completely put you off. So, getting into the space, how did you sort of find the first, I suppose, month or two? Because you did it alongside, like most of the guys, alongside that role, which must have been bloody intense considering your hours.
Yeah, correct. So I was doing it alongside my role. Again, I
Yeah.
didn't really have much time to do much revision, so I'd get home at 7, I'd join the coaching call because the coaching calls are every Monday to Thursday. Join the coaching call, it was at 9 back then. And then on the weekend, I just knuckle down because I had Saturday, Sunday, wake up early, just bang through all the materials. Um, yeah, just crack on really.
And when did you land your first role? Do you remember?
So it might have been like August, I think,
What role
maybe.
was that? It's not the one you're on now, is it?
No, so it was some AI agency.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, it wasn't the best offer. He said, "Oh, we cash collected like 400K, but then the deals channel they'd only cash collected about 20K in that month." So then my mate, who's a closer as well, he got me an offer
Hmm.
on so it's YouTube automation. I
Yeah.
started on the DQ leads to begin with. and then just worked my way up. So I'm still on that offer.
Yeah, I can see from the plaque.
Yeah, pro YouTuber.
Yeah. So is that from? So you started out on the DQ leads, and then you should have worked your way up. Is that helping people? Is it YouTube automation or is it build and scale like get more views type YouTube offer?
Yeah, so it's a YouTube automation. So we have our own automation tool, which people can use to then push out. It's faceless YouTube videos.
Hmm.
And then they would make their money from the affiliate links, AdSense, so the views, and digital products.
So when did you land that role then? You because you came on board. What month did you come on board now?
Mid-April. I
Mid-April.
landed that offer, it might have been mid-July. Yeah, mid-July.
That
And then I
the
went,
yeah.
yeah, mid-July, then I went all in mid-August is when I left my job.
How did you go all in then? Did you so you would have made how much did you sort of make from July to August? I'm assuming that was the thing that made you go, yeah.
Yeah, so in the 2 weeks from July to August on the DQ leads, I made 2.1k.
On the DQ
Then
leads.
on the DQ leads, yeah.
Okay, wow.
Um, and then the following month was 5.2k. Again, I was still in my job, but that's when I moved out of my job.
Oh wow.
Um,
What was that
then the
like?
following,
Taking calls on
what?
on the side and everything. Like when were you up until?
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, with remote sales, you can work Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah.
so it's not that bad. And then I could take calls at like 8, 9 as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, it's you can manage it. You can
Yeah.
just manage it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I mean, it's the short term thing for the long term gain. It's like you make, and you're making like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8K a month on the side, and you've got
Yeah.
your. Did you? I mean, did you keep it to yourself when you were sort of like, was there? Because I think I spoke to Harry Ward about this, and he said a similar thing. It's like you actually, it's a bit like if someone was to, if a work colleague was watching you, they'd think, oh God, Alfie's got a lot happier. Harry's got a lot happier. Like, but they don't know what's going on. But like, did you? I mean, you weren't obviously happy. You were still going into work, but was there a different vibe and aura about you when you were like, I'm low key making like literally 10K if you put everything together, sort of thing?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, I was still doing the long commute into work, but it was more for the reason that I knew that I wasn't going to be in this job for too much longer
Yeah.
because I'd learned remote sales and I was on an offer making money. So it was like only a few more weeks here and then I'm good to go and leave.
Do you remember handing in your notice?
Yeah, so I mean, it did feel weird, but again, it was just excitement because
How do you do it? Face to
doing,
face? Email?
yeah, face to face.
Bullish.
But yeah, it was just more for the reason like I'm out of this situation now. Like I never saw myself working in corporate sales for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So it was just more just like I'm just happy to be out of it,
What
do
was
what I
the
want.
combo like? Like, I don't think I've actually. It's strange because I don't think a lot of people obviously it happened and they said, but like, yeah, I think because you're so rushing to go, oh, 10K, 20K, 30, 40K in remote sales and offers, and like, you actually don't realize that
Yeah,
that is almost a bigger moment sometimes than anything else, knowing that like I've
yeah,
actually, because there is a certain time when you are in that corporate sales role where you're like, this is like I'm actually trying to escape this. Like I actually want
yeah,
to get
yeah,
out of it. And it's like a weird video game you're playing. You're like, I'm trapped. And for so long, normally a lot of guys that come on board, they've tried this, they've tried that, they've tried everything, and for so long you've wanted it, and then finally it sort of comes, and you're a bit like, shit. Like, what was almost the conversation like, or the sort of day, if you remember it?
yeah. I mean, on getting the train up into London, obviously full of excitement. Again, nerves as well because I'm
If he
leaving my
offers
job
you
going into
50 grand on top, oh shit, I'm
Yeah,
still
I
going
mean
there.
they always do it. Well, I mean, it wasn't 50 grand, but they're like, oh, look up your base. But it's like if you valued me, you would have just offered me that raise a few weeks ago or months ago. So yeah, I mean, when I did hand in my notice again, it was pretty nerve-wracking. But it's like it's for the best. I can now do what I want. I have the freedom to do what I want.
Yeah. And you've
Yeah,
got the proof of concept because it's like, I mean, for me, I obviously had a different story, and I think a few other guys do, but I think, a lot of guys do it the smart way, which we, work with everyone to do it. It's like, do it on the side because then you've actually, the nerves actually almost get shut up because it's a bit like, well, I just made
yeah,
5.6K on the side. I made more
yeah.
doing it part time last month. So it's almost like, well, the proof's there as opposed to, well, like, let's just see how we get on, sort of thing, which
Yeah.
I don't think people should do. So you left that in August or July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
August.
What
Yeah.
happened after that?
Just went literally all in, um, working Monday to Sunday most weeks. Because again, with remote sales, you can, and it's something I enjoy. I like
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't mind working on the weekends because it's like, what else would I be doing? Maybe, I don't know, watching football, going out with my mates.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just went all in with remote sales, opened up my calendar. Yeah, just all in.
And then that month, what did you clear? Was that what month was that?
So my first full month closing was 10.4K. That was in my full month.
Bullish.
Yeah, yeah, it was just
10.4K.
insane. Yeah,
So you cleared, I mean, it feels like everyone that does this, like they just have a massive month after. What do you think contributes to that, like 10.4K? I mean, obviously the industry has a huge reason as to why that happened, but also like the person is well involved. What would you say was a
yeah,
big reason as to why, like your first full month making the pivot, that you were able to do 10.4K in comms?
yeah. It definitely goes down to or back to the training.
Yeah,
Again, that was very handy, learning everything inside out. But also, what motivates me, and it's the same for a lot of people inside Capital Closer, is that deals channel. It's popping like every single day,
yeah, yeah.
or every hour even. And it's like when I see someone get a deal closed, it's like, okay, I haven't got a deal closed today. It's like I need to get my deal closed to then put it in the chat.
Mm.
So that's a big motivation as well. Just seeing that channel.
Yeah, I think it is at the end of the day, and I think for us, it's creating the sort of top performers in the entire industry, and we're doing that not with people that are already in the space. We're doing that with people that are recruitment, tech sales, software, in like guys that are getting into it and still getting to the level, and doing it in that short period of time. Like
Yeah,
yourself and all the others. You're 3 months in at this point, doing 5 figures per month. What happens in 6, 12, 18 months? To everyone. You just
yeah,
grow and grow. Your network gets bigger, so you land better offers. Your skill set, your objection handling, and everything else gets massively bigger. And then also, again, you pretty much matched it the month just gone with pretty much 5 figures again, which
yes,
is mad.
$500 off, which was annoying. But yeah, it's still. I mean, I'm yeah gutted I didn't get to that 10K again, but yeah, still a good month.
So if you look back now to the conversation that we first had, I remember our call actually quite well even. And someone would tell you now, like what, 3, 4 months later, you're clearing 5K a month, clearing 5 figures per month, left your 9 to 5 sales role. Like what, when you almost think back to then, like what do you almost sort of think about?
Yeah, well, I think you actually future paced me on that on the call. But yeah, it is insane. Like, it's actually a reality now, and it's more so. Again, the money is good. Don't get me wrong, but for me, I didn't have freedom. I was working my corporate job, really long hours. Now I've got the freedom to work when I want. I can go to the gym in the morning when it's quiet, get my hair cut whenever. So yeah, it's more so the freedom as well to just do whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that like, yeah, going for breakfast in the morning, like just if you want, just going to the
Mm,
gym, like it is so nice. And it's just nice that I think as a sales guy as well, like it's just all on you. It's like if you want to take more calls and make more money, you can. If you want to get better, you can do more training. If you want to take some calls from wherever in the world, you can do that.
yeah.
So for you now, looking 3 months forward, 3, 6 months forward, obviously we've got our top performance trip here in Dubai in January. What's on the agenda? What's on the plans? I know one thing you touched on, you're potentially moving away somewhere to take some calls for a couple of months, but what else are we thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean for me I need to get to 15, 20K. So I've got my US offer now, but because with US offers you can work 1 or 2 till 11 p.m., it gives me the opportunity to get a UK offer. So you placed me on a UK offer, which I'm doing now. So again, it is pretty full on, but you can do it. You can work Monday to Sunday, all day, every day. And again, if it's something you enjoy, it's like a hobby. You don't mind
Yeah.
doing it. Um,
That's the weird
yeah.
thing, isn't it? You just like people go, "Oh, you work something." So I don't because I want to. If you had
Yeah.
the chance to make 500, because your price point, you're making how much are you making per call that you close?
Yeah, so it ranges. You've got lowest, so you got 2,000, so that's $200. Then it goes
200.
right up to $10,000, which is $1,000 comms.
I see you mainly closing this one though, don't you?
Yeah, and then so it was 12.5% comms, but now they dropped it to 10% for a PIF.
Okay.
But it's still good. I can't
I
complain.
mean, yeah, still 1K per call that you're closing,
Yeah,
which is crazy. Okay, so that's that from that sort of things. And then looking at that's what I was saying with the 45 minutes. If you had the chance to earn that per call you closed, why wouldn't you work Saturdays and Sundays? You know,
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
do you want to do this? Well, am I going to make 1,000 for an hour for me doing that? No,
Yeah,
you know. And I think it's good because it allows you for like 1, 2, 3 years just absolutely go ballistic, and then you increase your leverage because you go, right, I was selling on an offer where I was making 10, 15,000 a month at like a 5, 6K price point. Well, now I'm good enough. I've got the receipts and proof. Let me go into the market. Let me, speak to other
mm,
offer owners. Let me maybe get a B2B offer, 20K ticket,
yeah,
30K ticket. And now I'm making 20, 30, 40,000 a month. And you just keep growing your proof and who you are and your reputation within the space and your sort of mini personal brand. And then these offers start coming to you. And I think that's a big piece of it as well is offer. Like
yeah.
I mean, your offer's a pretty solid one. For example, like has closers on it already, making good money. Are you who's what's the ranking like at the moment? Because if your friend's on it, is he top closer?
Yeah, so my friend is top closer.
Is it fair play?
Yeah, he's smashing it. He's doing about 15K a month.
Oh, you've got to
So
chase him down
he's doing
then.
really well. Yeah, I'm chasing him. But yeah, even what you were saying about like when you close a deal as well, it's like scoring a goal in football. It's
Literally
just
is.
the feeling you get is just insane. And then when you close a deal, it's like, no, I want to close another deal. And it
Yeah.
just keeps on going on.
Yeah, because a lot of people go, "Oh, you should be emotionless," and like it's just you're there to help people, and whether you close the deal or not, you shouldn't really. And it's like, yeah, okay, right, but at the same time, like it's just no, no. You have feel the buzz, feel the energy, have
Mm.
the momentum, chase it. Um, don't get disheartened if you don't close it, but you sort of want that buzz, and I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's, it's good because you don't get that in corporate sales. Like you don't, yeah, you close a deal, and what you get paid in 6 months, like that's great. Touching on the other thing you were going to say about sort of 3 months down the line, South America still on the cards, or
Yeah, so my friend who's a closer, he's on the same offer as me. So it's quite cool. I'm just working with my best mate and we're both closing. So we are we're going to South America the start of next year. I think we're going to start in Colombia and then just bounce about, go to Brazil, Uruguay, Chile. Um, but yeah, again, that's just the freedom aspect and the time zone as well. I can work maybe 9 to 5 in South America because I'm taking US calls. Um, and then yeah, just do whatever
and I mean, yeah, gee,
after.
you'll be living like a king out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's super cheap.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I can imagine huge villa, take calls with your pal. I mean, like, do you
yeah,
know what I mean? And that's what it's about. Like if you have the skill set of sales, like rather than being stuck in these sort of other traditional sales roles, like get to a point of making the sort of level of income you are, do these sort of nice things when you can, stack as much cash as possible, and then you work your way up through the industry, and you sort of do those
yeah,
things. So, I mean, just to sort of end on, I suppose for you, like if someone's watching this and they are in an FX sales role, recruitment, tech sales, software sales, insurance, between that like 3 to 7K a month bracket. They're in the what a lot of people say, a dream sales job. There we are, the dream sales job.
yeah.
Um, and they're like, I sort of, I'm doing well. I'm comfortable. I've seen this remote sales thing, but it's like, is it all that? Blah blah blah. What would you have to say to them? And also about capital closure, I suppose.
Yeah, I would just say just take the risk. And like you touched on there, you said they're doing well or they're comfortable. I mean, is it comfortable working all these long hours, getting cap commissions, long sales cycles? Is that the comfortable option? So yeah, I'd say just take the risk. Step outside of your comfort zone because it's like where do humans grown in comfort or uncomfort? It's uncomfort, right? And then going back to Capital Closer, again, it's going through all the modules, all the training in there. You've got the coaching calls, so everything's set up for you to succeed. And again, you've got people and they're making 20, 30K per month who went through that exact system. So it all just comes down to the work you put in. If you have got that work ethic, then you will be successful. It's literally simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree. And yeah, I think even as you mentioned there, touching on the risk factor, it's like what's riskier, making 5K a month for the rest of your life, or like doing it on
Yeah.
the side with the potential to make 20, 30, 40K a month in commissions, which I think is a no-brainer. And I think within the time frame that you've done it is absolutely huge. But look, anyway, pleasure as always, bro. Look forward to seeing. I mean, hopefully you'll get one of these soon.
Yes. I
Hit
knew one.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this month we'll see. What are you at for this month so far? Sort of roughly. I mean, we're on the pretty much the seventh, eighth.
Yes. Yes. On both the offers, I'm on 2.2K. Um, but yeah, I know like I'm gonna have a big push for this month. I want to get to 15K this
Easily,
month. 100%.
easily.
Yeah,
All right, bro.
100%.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Catch you
Nice
in a
one.
bit.
Sweet, bro.